Welcome everyone to the virtual college exploration for Pennsylvania students, sponsored by the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. PACAC is a nonprofit association comprised of more than 1,200 school counselors, college admission counselors, independent education consultants, and other professionals responsible for guiding students through the important transition from high school to post-secondary options. Thank you so much for being with us or viewing this recording later. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at pacac.org. That's PACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, pacac.org. Thank you. I'd like to now turn it over to our presenters.
Thank you so much for having us, and welcome to our session about Slippery Rock University. My name is Samantha Reve, and I'm one of the assistant directors at Slippery Rock University in the undergraduate admissions office. I'm also an alum of the university as well, so I love to be able to share Slippery Rock with anybody that's interested in learning a little bit more about it. So I always like to start and give an overview of the campus in itself. And Slippery Rock University is one of the 14 public PACAC schools, your Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. And we are a mid-sized university. So we are just over a total enrollment of 8,800 students with an undergraduate population of about 7,500. So having the ability to have a medium-sized school, but a small school feel with an average class size of 25 students. As a student or as a past student, that was something that was huge for me in being able to talk to my professors, talk to my classmates, and really have the ability to get to know one another while still being engaged in class and learning. We're in a great location, about 50 miles north of Pittsburgh, as well as 2 hours from Cleveland, 45 minutes from Youngstown, 3 hours from Columbus, and an hour from Erie. And I always like to mention those other cities because when it's time to start looking for your jobs or your internships, you've got a wide variety of locations to observe and look at for different areas that might interest you later down the road. During my college search process, I was really big into finding my home away from home and where I was most comfortable, and Slippery Rock had a wonderful community that supports the university, which made me feel like I was a home away from home. The community itself is only about 3,000 people, but when the university is in session, you've got about 10,000 people in the town itself. And one of my favorite ways to show that the university and the community support each other is during homecoming weekend. Our students have a window painting contest, and the businesses on Main Street allow those students to come in and paint their windows too, to show that we are one and just that community feel with everybody else around. Slippery Rock has over 150 different undergraduate programs and majors to choose from, so lots to choose from, lots to pick. I was an undecided student, but once I found my major, I was so happy and excited with the classes I was taking, the people I was meeting. And if you come into school with a degree already in mind, you'll have that ability to start in those classes right away freshman year. If you do wish to continue your education at a higher level, we have over 40 different graduate programs to choose from, so you have the ability to continue your education. All of our programs and majors fit within 4 different academic colleges. You have your College of Health, Engineering, and Science, College of Business, College of Education, and your College of Liberal Arts. No matter what undergraduate degree program you're in, graduate program, academic college, every class is always taught by a professor. There's no teaching assistants and no graduate assistants that are teaching those classes. We have 92% of our faculty have a PhD or a terminal degree in their field, meaning that you're always going to be learning from the best of the best that's that's teaching you. One of my favorite things to talk about is in my college classes. I was a business major, and my professor always brought in those real world examples to relate to what we were learning with. So it was always nice to be able to see how it related in the real world and in the workforce compared to what we were learning in class. Some of the graduate programs that we offer here on campus are your ones on the left-hand side all the way up to pre-counseling. And these graduate programs are programs that are offered at Slippery Rock to be able to do your undergraduate and graduate degrees. Anything from that pre-chiropractic down to pre-vet are opportunities that we have to have a partnership with other universities or making sure that we set you up to be successful to go on into those graduate programs. But specifically for those programs on the left, like I mentioned, they are programs that we do offer at Slippery Rock at the graduate level, meaning at the undergraduate level, you would be studying something along the lines of exercise science, psychology, public health, or any of those other ones that are listed there. Our programs are not direct admit programs. They do require students to still apply to the programs once they're in their undergraduate years. Under these programs, you also see two options considered a traditional track as well as an accelerated track. A traditional track is studying this program for 4 years at the undergraduate level, applying to graduate school, and then moving on into the graduate program in itself. For example, pre-occupational therapy, meaning in the traditional level, I would study exercise science for 4 years, and then I would apply to graduate school, start my graduate program at the end of my 4 years, and continue on in OT for 3 years. So it's a 7-year program in the traditional track. The accelerated track is going to be instead of a 7-year program, it's going to be a 6-year program. So the accelerated track is at 3+3. I'd be studying exercise science at the undergraduate level for 3 years. I still have to apply into graduate school, and then I would be able to make that transition once accepted into graduate school in that 4th year, finishing undergraduate programs as well as starting my graduate program. And like I said, it's cutting off a year of that schooling in itself. I'm happy to sit down and talk to any students that are interested specifically in these programs to provide a lot more detail and a lot more information, either after this session or later once you've watched this pre-recording. One of my favorite things to talk about on campus is getting involved outside of going to class. So being able to be involved in a student organization. We have over 160 different clubs and organizations to be involved in. And from there, there's anything from athletics to student government to spirit organizations, you name it. One of my favorite things about getting involved was it was a good way for me to utilize my leadership skills and abilities as well as build upon those. So every student club and organization has some sort of executive board, allowing you to be involved a little bit more in the process if it's something that you're interested in doing, being able to maybe become president of that club and organization one day at the very end of it. College is what you make it, so I always encourage students to find one club and organization to be involved in that first year, stepping out of their comfort zone, meeting new people, and adding to their resume while in college. Our students have the ability to also study abroad in multiple different ways. Students can study abroad for a semester, they can study abroad for a full year. The most popular way our students study abroad is a 10-day spring break study abroad experience. And that is a faculty-led trip for 1 week outside of the country, typically. The faculty, like I said, lead that trip and you get to go with your classmates. I actually did 2 of those trips when I was a student, and they're educational, but they're also that cultural immersion too. So my senior year, I went with my business professor and they took us to Barcelona. And during that 10-day trip, we got to go into a bank that was in Barcelona, learn how they operated overseas, but then we also got to go to Park Güell as well to be able to learn a little bit more about the culture and the architecture that is in the beautiful city of Barcelona. Getting involved also can be in the athletics. We have over 17 NCAA Division II teams. If you are interested in the varsity sports, please make sure you are being in contact with coaches. Anything from that, though, we do have over 41 different club sports as well as intramurals. So those are things that you could play at the college level, either with other teams in the surrounding area and or other teams that are on campus in itself. Our students also have the chance to be involved in our honors college. It is a separate application, so do making sure that if you're interested in being involved in the honors college, you are submitting the application appropriately to be involved in those things. So lots of things to do on campus, lots of different ways of getting involved depending on what your interests are, but that's something I always encourage our students to do. From there, just making sure that living on campus is always safe and exciting. Our students, we do require all of our first year students to live on campus. After that, it's completely up to you and whether you want to stay on campus or whether you want to move off campus. But within the first year, we do require that on-campus housing, and you have two different options. You have suite style options or you have a traditional hall option. There are three major differences in these two different styles. The first major difference is going to be cost. So traditional hall is typically about $3,000 less a year than a residential suite is. Your second major difference is going to be the bathroom. So a traditional hall is 2 people per room, but your bathroom is down the hall. So it is a community shared bathroom that somebody comes in once to twice a day to clean that bathroom and make sure everything is taken care of. The suite style room, that one is more of your hotel type style room. When you walk into a hotel room, you typically have a ensuite bathroom. And then the individuals in that room only utilize that bathroom. Same concept in the suite style. It's only you and your roommate are sharing that restroom. However, you are now responsible for cleaning that bathroom and providing its toilet paper. And then your third major difference is what we call a living learning community, and an LLC for short. A living learning community is living in the same building, on the same floor, in the same wing as others within your academic area and within your major. So if you're an education major and you wanted to live with others within the education department, that's something you could easily do. Please keep in mind that our LLCs are only housed in suite style rooms. So you are going to be required to live in the suite styles if you are interested in partaking in that living learning community. They're a great opportunity to meet others within your major as well as form study groups, but they're not required if you are not interested in doing so. During your college search process, it's all about finding your perfect fit. So perfect fit for major, perfect fit for location, but also your cost of attendance is also going to be a factor. So this chart here kind of breaks down our cost of attendance. The information in the chart is the same. So your tuition fees is a flat rate across the board, no matter whether you're taking 12 or 18 credits. And an average student does take about 15 credits per semester. Your room and board is going to determine whether you're in the suite style or the traditional hall, as well as your total cost is going to determine whether you're in the residential suites or the traditional hall. Your board is your meal plan, and every student starts off with a base meal plan of 12 meals per week and $445 of flex. What that means is that every student is given meal swipes per week. Every Monday morning to Sunday night, they have 12 meals to utilize. Those are typically used in our main dining hall, and they're typically going into the main dining hall, swiping once and eating kind of anything that they want, kind of like that all-you-can-eat style buffet. And there are other areas on campus that utilize our meal swipes, but that's the main area. And like I said, every Monday morning they restart. So every Monday morning throughout the whole semester, you have those 12 meals a week. The $445 of flex, that is also paired with your meal plan. The flex, the best way to describe that is kind of like a gift card to go to your dining hall. So a lot of times students use their flex in Starbucks to get a coffee or a bagel. That $445 is per semester, and whatever you don't use in the first semester will transfer to second semester, but whatever you don't use at the end of second semester does get lost. If you use a lot of flex and you do run out of flex, you can always add more flex onto your account. But once you run out of meal swipes, you can no longer add more. You have to wait till Monday morning for them to reset. Okay. There's also another meal plan too that is the same cost as the one listed below. on this slide, and it has a little bit more meals swipes. So it's got 15 meal swipes with $255. And like I said, it's the same cost. So it's all going to depend on your eating style and your eating habit. Something for me is I always liked my 3 meals a day. So I always had more meal swipes than I did flex because I was in the main dining hall. My college roommate was a individual who liked to snack. So she always had this meal plan because she always liked to have more flex to be able to get her coffee from Starbucks rather than sitting down and having an actual meal. So you do have the first 2 weeks to play around with it to be able to find that best meal plan for you. With cost of attendance comes our financial aid and scholarships. So our students have the ability to earn some scholarships while applying to campus. All you need to do is apply prior to December 1st to be considered for the first 3 scholarships. All you have to do is apply. Once you've applied prior to December 1, you are automatically going to be considered for the scholarships, and scholarships are stackable. The Honors College Scholarship, you do need to apply for. So it is that separate application into the Honors College, and you do need to apply prior to before January 15th to be considered for those types of scholarships. And then our donor scholarships, those vary. The application is currently open, and it is open until February 28th. To find more information on our donor scholarships, you can go to sru.edu/scholarships. We do offer need-based scholarships as well. The best thing I can tell you for that one is definitely filing your FAFSA, that free application for federal student aid. Our the FAFSA is open. We do encourage all families to file the FAFSA. Once you've applied, been accepted, and filed the FAFSA, we are then able to produce you a financial aid award letter. So just something to keep in mind as you're going through the college search process. Next steps are applying to Slippery Rock University. The application process is fairly simple. It's at sru.edu/apply. It's submitting an online application, a $30 application fee, as well as your official high school transcript that comes directly from your guidance counselor, making sure that they send that to us to be able to complete your application. From this point forward, Slippery Rock University is test optional. We do not require your SATs or your ACTs. However, if you take them and you'd like to submit them, we'll take those as well. If you are interested in any of the areas like dance, theater, or music, please keep in mind all of those areas do require an audition to be admitted into that program specifically. And last but not least, we do not require any letters of recommendation and or essays for acceptance. When you're filling out your online application, there's not going to be a spot to upload those. If you feel strongly about submitting those, you can always send those to us as an attachment via email. Once you've been accepted to Slippery Rock University, your next steps is then to submit a $90 enrollment deposit. That $90 enrollment deposit will kind of create a domino effect, allowing you to get an SRU email address, create your login information, obtain information about housing, as well as orientation. We do require all of our first-year students to attend orientation. And then that $90 enrollment deposit is fully refundable up until May 1st, unless you attend a orientation prior to May 1. We've held a lot of events this fall. So these are things to kind of keep in the back of your mind, either for next fall or for the spring. Our next event is our Saturday, November 7th virtual open house to be able to have the ability to talk to your professors in your area of interest and kind of be able to connect with them. Something to look forward to this spring are our accepted students days, as well as faculty information sessions that allow you to also talk to faculty members too. Thank you so much for listening today to my presentation regarding Slippery Rock University. This is my contact information up here on the screen. At this point, if you have any questions, I am happy to answer those questions. Please keep in mind that due to time, there is a possibility I might not get to all questions that are here, but I'm here to answer them if you have any.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, the presenters as well. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so please be sure to sign up for an additional session at pacac.org. That's PACAC.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this presentation's recording as well as all the other session recordings at pacac.org. Thank you.